Welcome to another broadcast of The Competitive Edge. Today, we're going to be looking at a very dynamic subject, and it has to do with leadership and your business. And I want to begin by saying this: your business is dead if you do not understand the important tenets of starting that business. Every business depends on human resource needs and technical resource needs and capital resource needs. And many businesses, they struggle in that startup phase to find the right human resources to move the vision forward, to find the technical resources to move your vision forward, and to find access to capital. And very often, when you're not able to put these three components together, the business vision suffers. So, today we're going to be doing a deep dive into how leadership style can really help you to start and grow and scale that business into perhaps a six, seven, eight figure business. So, I encourage you that if you're in business or you have a friend or family who is in business, you need to call them and educate them that we're on, the competitive edge is on, and we're going to be doing that deep dive into leadership and how leadership can really help you to make better, smarter business decisions. Today with me in studio, I have three dynamic personalities. I have uh, Frank, and Frank, he is an economist by profession, but he's also a John Maxwell, a leadership specialist. So he will talk to us from the economic standpoint and also leadership standpoint of leadership. We also have Shivani Sinarayan, and Shivani is a project management practitioner, and she's also a lecturer at UWI, and she has a rich history in project management. And last but not least, we have Peter Gulstott, and he is the brain behind Legacy Chronicle, and also he's instrumentally involved in helping people to develop their personal life masterfully. Welcome, team, to today's broadcast.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, just before we get started again, I want to say this that this program comes to you with the kind compliments of the Bestseller Portal. To learn more about the Bestseller Portal, I do encourage you to go to bestsellerportal.org and navigate that website. You will get books that's going to help you in business. You're going to get books that covers a wide range of areas relating to business. So I encourage you to go take a sneak peek at that website, and you'll be happily surprised of what you can get. Along with this, we often talk about the importance of relationships, and sometimes we talk about relationships, but often never do nothing about it. You can go to that website and you can get greetings cards. Again, not just any greetings cards. You can get the greetings card that really helps you to express how you truly feel about your loved ones. So take a look at the website. The website is shown on your screen. So I want to get today's program started, and I'm gonna make a few statements, and then I'm gonna ask some pointed questions. We see that in the US alone, and we see that we have approximately 4.4 million businesses that are started annually. But this is what we see. This is the statistics. We see that 20.8% of business startups fail in year one. We see 40% fail by year two, and we see 49 0.9% fail by year 3. The statistics is changing. The failure rate has increased significantly over the last few years. And I do believe that leadership play a pivotal role in the equation of helping businesses to become successful. And leadership can come in the form of project management. It can come in the form of master plan. It can come in the form of understanding economics. It can come in the form of understanding leadership. So we will be looking at leadership in the context of how it can really help a business to be successful. And I did express at the beginning of this program, in starting a business, if you don't have the right human resources, the right technical resources, and the right capital resources, that business is doomed to fail. I want to add a few more things here. Your business needs visibility and cash flow. But to get visibility and cash flow, you need a strategy. You need a strategy. And the face of a strategy can look like identifying problems that people or businesses are faced with, identifying the solution, and is innovating your MVO, which is your minimum viable offer, most viable offer, or your maximum viable offer, to be that solution. And to do all of this, you need to be proactive. What proactive leaders do, they think ahead. What proactive leaders do, they see beyond problems. What proactive leaders do, they're able to take informed action to achieve desired results. So we will unpack all of this today to really help you to try your best to become proactive in the effort to grow and scale a successful business. And I want to start by asking Frank, since I know you are instrumentally involved in leadership and economics, is to give us your view of the importance of leadership to the success of businesses. Frank, all to you.
Thank you, Gary. When we talk about leadership, what comes to mind for most persons is just being a CEO, owning your own business, being the top of your game in your organization, whatever that is to you. A question I can ask is, have you ever considered how often we adjust communication topics and frequencies based on relationships we have? Because the thing about leaders, you need to establish relationship with your team, your employees, just as you do with family. You see, as a leader, our partners or spouses may typically want frequent, highly specific check-ins. We have teenagers and they want the minimum acceptable level of communication. Our parents, they may like us to call weekly, monthly, with some general updates about how the family is going. And our friends will be okay with whatever communication happens within your busy life. But at work, the leaders have 4 critical relationships that they must develop and communicate appropriately. The boss, direct reports, peers, customers. And each relationship is essential and deserves focused attention, yet each relationship values and needs different things to be productive. We can sometimes fall into the trap of treating each relationship in the same way, neglecting the unique needs of each and not respecting what each considers necessary. You see, it's an easy thing to do as we treat others based more on our needs than their needs. However, understanding and adjusting to the specific needs of each of these four types of relationships is critical for a leader to be successful. What are the individual needs for each critical relationship? What are the language? What are the values and ways to strengthen each relationship? Effective leadership requires that each of the four relationships receive the time, the attention, the messages valued the most. The boss, for example, if you want to build an effective relationship with the boss and upper management, we use the language of business results. The boss is focused on performance and is expecting you to deliver it. And business results are primarily what your boss is evaluated on, what will deliver his or her success as he leads a team. You might not like this reality, but it's the nature of things. So you need to convey how you will achieve these results in your communication with him or her. And if you're not putting business results at the center of your conversation with your boss, then you're likely not speaking the language that he or she understands and cares most about. When you look at the direct reports, to build a relationship with direct reports, you need to use a language of people results. Your employees care about the team dynamic, the level of management, their career development, and how talent gets promoted on the team. Your team members want feedback and communication, and to work in an environment that challenges and rewards. Yes, they also care about the performance outputs, but focusing on people results in your communication will get at the heart of what they care about, and it will help you speak their language. And when you look at the peers, to build a relationship with your peers, you'll use the language of internal focus. Peers are concerned with how resources get allocated and how work gets accomplished internally. They want clarity on hands-off, transparency in budgeting, a desire to partner to make things work better. So talking about team engagement build some goodwill, but speaking about improving the day-to-day work patterns and fairly negotiating resources, that will get to the heart of what peers value more. And finally, your customers. If you want to build a strong relationship with your customers, you use here the language of external focus. And this language concerns the broader marketplace in identifying the competitive landscape, industry trends, current and future customers' needs. And customers are less concerned about how something gets produced or if the team is happy. Customers want assurance that you know their concerns, you know what their hopes are, you know their feelings. They want to see action in satisfying their needs, even if it's a small one. And they also want to hear ideas on how you will address their desires in a cheaper, in a faster, or quicker manner. So when we talk about effective leader, an effective leader crafts messages based upon those with whom they're speaking and working. The leader understands that the four different relationships each speak a different language and have unique needs. They know that using each relationship's unique language will improve their understanding and lead to a balanced performance. So you need to test it out. Adapt your communication approach based on the relationship you have and see the difference. They will appreciate how you speak their language.
All right, thanks. Thanks for that share, Frank. Um, Taken away from what you said, what is seen is that every leader needs results, and what is emphasized here is to get the results that you need. you need to focus on relationship. Is it a relationship with staff, or a relationship with customers, or a relationship with suppliers? You didn't mention suppliers, but I just want to add that part of it. This, we can go very deep with this, but what I will do, I will leave that deepness for when persons come into our master programs, for us to go deeper into those concepts. But I want to come now to Shivani, and Shivani is a project management practitioner, and your business is dead without project management. Why? Because project management has a number of essential tools that is going to help to optimize the business process. And project management helps you to understand start date for a project and end date for a project. It helps you to understand project completion criteria. It helps you to understand the project budget. And your role as a leader is to control the project within the scope of activities. So I just want to highlight this as I go to Shivani now to talk with us about leadership and project management and how this can really help the business not only to survive, but to strive. Shivani.
Good morning again, Gary. Good morning to everyone. Always a pleasure being here, especially on a Monday morning, right?
Yeah.
Project management can definitely help us in everything that we do. So when we speak about project management, we don't want to look at projects in silos. We need to look at project as a whole and how it affects business, how it affects the organization. You'll always see projects fail when it is not aligned to the organizational strat. So as the leader of the organization, or if you're the leader of the business, you want to come about with your different projects and you want to be able to execute it. But it all starts by ensuring that whatever project you have selected, which is part of your portfolio of projects, it is in alignment with the overall organizational strat plan. So we mentioned strategy, and from strategy, then you can definitely have programs and portfolio programs, and then your projects. So effective leadership will build a very effective project portfolio, a list of all the projects that you want to achieve for the year, financial year, and beyond, if you have in your 3 to 5 year old plan or longer. So this must be taken into consideration. Do you understand the organization strat? And are you now having a portfolio of projects? So projects fail initially, off the bat when we look at it in terms of it's not in alignment with the organizational strat. The particular project, the vision, you may have a particular vision for this project, you see it going well, but it's not in alignment with the organization strat at all. So you must have some type of synergy there. It's very, very important. Another main point is in leaders and leadership within your business or within your organization and how projects are aligned, we must look at 3 aspects: people, process, and the business environment. So these are 3 main points. People, do you understand? Well, and this is what Frank was talking a little about also on people and the importance of having people, the importance of empowering persons. I like to say in project management is management through the productivity of others. So people, process, and the business environment. Do you really understand the environment that you're working in? And then, of course, you have the list of all the processes in order to get the project done. So many persons, when they jump into projects, you don't look at it as a whole. You don't understand the organization strat. We love to use these words, these buzzwords, I like to say, in terms of innovation, and your project is innovative, vision, all these buzzwords. But it starts with a thinking, systems thinking, which is organizational, strategic, and then you start to go down the road like that. Then when you do come to the project, are you looking at the project with people, process, and the business environment? Do you understand all of these things and how it connects? So, we'll always hear people complaining about projects and it's failing. But it's an easy thing to do when you look at what you are doing wrong, right? So thanks for that, Gary.
All right, thanks for that share, Shivani. And today we're looking at your business is dead. Why it is dead? Because you need leadership. And leadership comes in many different forms: project management, economics, public relations, marketing. Your business need leadership in all of these areas, and you're dead without it. All right. Just before I come to Peter, Peter, the question I want to table to you is: you are an expert in master planning, and how do you see master planning helping the business to survive um, in a competitive environment? Just before I come back to you, Peter, just allow me to say a couple of things. We have started a unique program which we call the BFC, and the BFC is designed to help you to access capital. You will be trained, one, to become a business finance consultant, business and finance consultant. So that means you will be taught two things. You'll be taught money and how money works, and you'll be trained to help businesses across the US access capital, all types of capital. In the wider Caribbean, we will also train you, and you will also learn how to bring creative capital to businesses. Along with you learning financial instruments, you will also be taught marketing and sales. Why? Because it is an essential skill set for you to know and to own. With this knowledge of marketing, you will be trained to become an expert in selling any and everything that is valuable, can add value and fix problems in people's lives. Now, a couple of things that I want to just add in before coming to Peter. Very often we find that since we're on the money talk, businesses know that they need the capital. And very often what we see is that when they access the capital is mismanaged, is misused. And I do believe a dilemma takes place. Businesses leaders get into business to make money. That's their objective. You get into business. And sometimes you find that when they get access to capital, they see the capital that they have just gained as the money in which they're going after. So it undermines how they apply themselves at leadership. And I want to emphasize this because being in the financial service educational platform, this is something that we see. And we want businesses to be business leaders to be aware of this and to ensure that you don't go down this pathway. It can be a trap and you don't want to be there. Peter, I want to now open up to you. How do you see your area of strength adding value to businesses in terms of helping them to break through that survival curve and come to that point where they are not only surviving, but they are striving?
Um, just want to welcome all our viewers to our broadcast today. It's very important in the sense where everybody, you mentioned a while ago, Gary, that individuals do go into business because the objective is to make money. And but we want to expand that even further to say that the road on the road to make money, if we focus on the money, a lot of times, as you mentioned, it can create certain kinds of entrapment that cause, as we're talking about business failure, in and the rate and the amount of businesses that starts up on an annual basis and how many make it to the end of what they're seeking to achieve, because the road to make money is not actually to look at the money. but to look at the problems that are in the marketplace that they are empowered to solve. And it is the to be on the safe side. What we recommend to individual is an alignment, is alignment with their skill sets and their talents, their abilities, whatever it is that they're bringing to the marketplace, to see how best they can optimize those as solutions and to fit those elements as solutions to the challenges that are in the society. But the minute somebody begin to do that, what you find that there is an array of elements that has to be in place for that to be effectively um, pushed or developed. And some of those things that we do mention from time to time is that everything is going to start with leadership. And then you leadership is going to say, okay, I have this gadget that can solve that problems. And then you got to decide, you got to need you need now to do research, because in going out there, an individual needs to understand how much of those problems are in the marketplace. If is there enough of those problems in the marketplace for me to build a business, for an individual to build a business around it? So the research has to be done. And if there is enough, then they now have to move to another department, develop another segment in their process, which has to do with now how can we now market, get people to identify that I have the solution to those problems, and to do it in such a way where it will lead to making sales. So now you have another set of disciplines or another department within that, as Chevalier mentioned, a buffet. Not that she didn't use the word buffet, but the buffet of services. That is the buffet of projects, I would say then, because each time you go into find a different platform in which you are going to take your solution to the market in order to make the money, then it's another sets of issues are arising, and it goes all the way up. There's about 8 to 10 variants of these projects that will expand as you seek to get the money, or to solve the problems to get to the money. Now that can be overwhelming. That can be very overwhelming for one person, and even for teams of person, because Chevron even mentioned that sometimes when you dispatch these various elements into teams, now teams begin to think in silos. Everybody's just thinking about their marketing, their little project. Or I'm in sales, and they just stick with the sales. I'm in marketing, I just want to stick with the marketing. I'm in project development, and then now you find this grand solution that needs to get to the market is going in all various directions, and nobody is interconnecting to ensure that everything is being communicating to the end result of solving the problem so that the money can come. And this is now where we desire master planning. The master plan, now the leader has now to look at all these various components and see how we can bring these components together, that we speak the same language. And this is where Frank was talking about leadership, and having the leadership knowing how to speak the various languages of these individuals. So we might think that we do speak English, but no, we don't, because each person is going to speak a language based upon their focus of interest. And how do we move into each department to speak the language that this department needs, and the personalities that goes behind those projects? Then you definitely master planning is very essential, because it's going to require that individuals has a spreadsheet of knowing where
Yeah.
all things are and how they're going to be applied.
All right. All right. Thanks for that share, Peter. You were very broad and how you relate to the subject, but thanks anyhow in terms of your response and how master planning can help businesses to get through that growth curve. In starting this program, I did mention that All right, sorry about that. I was muted. Um, I was saying thanks for that share, Peter, and I was just saying that your answer to the question was very broad, and I trust that perhaps the audience were able to relate to it from that broad perspective. But I want to come back to a few things I would have said at the start of this program. I did mention that your business is dead without visibility and cash flow. To get visibility and cash flow, you need a strategy. And the strategy may look at problems and the solution. It also dictates that you position yourself, your value offer as that solution. But I want to talk directly to visibility. If business leaders are not identifying ways to become visible, the absence of visibility means that you're not reaching your ideal client. The absence of reaching your ideal client means that you're not making impact. The absence of making impact means that you're not experiencing client conversion. The absence of creating client conversion means that you're not able to optimize the cash flow of the business. The absence of cash flow optimize the business means that you're not building confidence, trust, and credibility in the eyes of your consumers. And there lies a major challenge. So, what is a strategic game plan that rising stars in business can use to surmount and overcome the visibility issues? One of the things that we have been talking about a lot at the bestseller portal is what can a book do? What can a bestseller book do to help rising stars in business to get the visibility that they need to make impact and to cash flow optimize? And what the research is showing is that once a rising star is able to reach that point to say, hey, a book can be my new business card, a book under the right management team can help them to reach hundreds of persons, thousands of persons, hundreds of thousands of persons in a short period of time. Again, it's not just any book. You may be a project management specialist, but no one knows about you. But here is where you document in that book the benefits of project management to helping businesses to better plan, to helping businesses to better organize resources, to helping businesses to better optimize their cash flow. And you have this book now, and what you're doing, you are handing this book out to your potential consumers. You're engaging with mass media. You're engaging with social media. You're engaging across spectrum to ensure that you raise the visibility vibration of what you're doing, of your MVO. And I'm really happy to say to help rising stars in business, and even those who have established themselves in business, we have designed the bestseller portal to really give you that opportunity to work with a team of experts that can listen to your story, can write your book. And beyond listening to your story and writing your book, they have years of experience in taking your book, getting it to bestseller, and ensuring that you attain visibility, you attain reach, you attain impact, you attain client conversion, you build confidence, you build trust, you build credibility. And I believe that this is one pathway in which you can get visibility. Of course, there are many other ways, but we believe that this is a very unique way in which you're going to be able to get visibility and build confidence, trust, and credibility in the eyes of the ideal client and the public. So visibility is a challenge. So I just spoke to the visibility and cash flow concept there. The last point that I want to say here, when the bestseller portal comes behind you to write your book, it's not only for visibility. Visibility is key. But guess what else? The platform will also help you to take that book and create multiple streams of income. So you're going to get income from the book sales. You will get income from public speaking engagement. You're going to get income from digitizing and monetizing that content. And all of this is playing a very significant role in helping you to increase visibility, to increase reach, to increase impact, and to ultimately increase your chance to convert clients, potential clients, into paying clients. So again, you're dead without visibility, and what I've just shared with you is a hack. We have at the Bestseller Portal a team of persons that can help you with that. And we also have Peter Scott, who is also instrumentally with some aspect of what I've just talked about from the US standpoint. But just before we get back for perhaps for Peter to chime into this, I want to come back to Frank and to really ask Frank to chime in a little bit, because we see many businesses start, many businesses fail. And one of the reasons we are hosting these platforms is to really provide a platform that can help businesses to make smarter business decisions, especially rising stars in business. The bigger ones, they're ahead. We'll talk to them later. But how do we apply leadership, Frank, to help businesses to nurture the mindset, the attitude, the characteristics, and to be successful? Frank, also. You're muted.
Thank you.
It's very noisy at your end too.
That's why I remain muted for a while.
I can come back to you. All right.
It's quite now, so let me go ahead.
All right, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Good. One of the things is that we have to look at why it is important for building relationships in leadership position. In a class about 2 months ago, I said that nearly every business has a hierarchical structure. One with the leader to the top, leaders, and power that trickles downward through the ranks. But the good leaders are needed to ensure decisions get made and that a team is well managed, the team is productive and happy. However, there's not a single consensus or agreement on what makes a good leader. While there are a variety of leadership styles, all good business leaders share one trait: an emphasis on building relationships at their company. There's a power when you build relationships in leadership. If you ask nearly everybody, what matters most to them in life, you'll get the same answer: their relationships. And while most persons are referring to personal relationships, we spend a lot of time, most of our lives, whether at work or in our cases, talking to people, meeting people. Everyone wants respect. Everyone wants care. Everyone wants empathy. That kind of relationship provides whether they're at home or at the office. And good leaders are more than just decision makers. Good leaders put people first. And truly great leaders do 4 things extraordinarily. The first one is that they develop positive, healthy work environments that encourage the team, the employees to grow and collaborate together. The second one is that they inspire their workers to take pride in the impact of their work and self-manage accordingly. Thirdly, make employees feel valued and included in the decision-making process. And fourth, operate their business in such a way that it does not only benefit employees, but society as a whole. And if we maintain our four of these objectives, I know it requires a mastery of personal relationship. In the case of the first three, leaders have got to take the time to develop relationships with their employees, with their team, and continue nurturing those relationships on an ongoing basis. The fourth point in the list requires thinking of a business relationship to the society that it participates and benefits from. For example, in Ghana, we have Banks DIH, a beverage company. And though there is a public shareholding company, one of the things is that they have now established scholarships for students. They help out society in various activities, whether monetary or service oriented, right? But to do both of these things, leaders must look at their leadership status as a relationship in itself. You see, when we look at leadership as a relationship or a healthy relationship, it works both ways. And not only from the persons who are under you coming to you as a leader, but it has to be vice versa. And good leaders know that being a good leader is just as much about listening to and incorporating feedback as it is about executive decisions and determining policy changes. Now, when you recognize the importance of your worker at every level of a corporate hierarchy, you build the foundations for trust from the top to the bottom and vice versa. And the more traditional approach to corporate leadership is one based on title or authority and objective analysis. Leaders will look at the bottom line of a company, which is often profit, and they make decisions to benefit the entity as a whole, at least as they perceive it. The problem is that the view from the top isn't always comprehensive, and the style not only alienates those at the bottom, it misses out on the valuable insights those on the ladder's bottom rungs can provide. A rational, strategic leadership style can be valuable more in some situations, but companies are better off overall when they recognize that the top is unstable without a solid foundation. I will repeat that. The top is unstable without a solid foundation. So developing healthy relationships improves that foundation by creating trust between all the levels. And ultimately, you find that leadership is a relationship like any other relationship.
All right, thanks for that share, Frank. What I'm hearing is that success is heavily influenced by strategies, and the strategy that you want to deploy for success is to master relationship building. And I think you're right. I mean, one of my books I did say that relationship is the mother of all social systems. And if you're not investing in building healthy, productive relationships that represents the interests of the collective, you're going to be hurting yourself. Relationship is so important. So I've taken that away. So if you want to be successful in business, from Frank's perspective, you need to invest very heavily in relationship. Shivani, your business is dead. You need leadership. You need project management leadership. Can you give us a few other pointers in terms of how project management can really help to catapult businesses to the next level of development?
Now, project management, to run projects effectively, you must have a proper strat. a strategic, direction. And as we said, it must be in alignment with the organization strat as well. Otherwise, this thing is not going to work. So your business is almost dead, or is dead already, right? It's almost dead. And what do you do? What do you really do? Now, what we will have to do, and this is what I've seen a lot, we should see a lot more of. I shouldn't say it's there, it's coming, but organizations can use this as a great tool. We need to look at the people. So it's coming to what all of you all are saying. People are the biggest assets. How do you build your relationships? Now, you would have persons in the organizations that can, assist with your brand. So Gary may be able to talk about a particular topic, Frank may be able to talk about a particular topic, and, Peter on a particular topic. So what I'll do as the leader of the organization, I would look at a content management strategy, right? The content, what content am I really putting out there? And I'm not going to hire an external person to do this. I'm going to have my people do it, because once you believe in people, you'll be amazed at, the type of information that comes out of persons. I work with a lot of, one will say they are the lower level in the organization, and have a lot of experience in dealing with all different types of staff and all different types within the environment. And, the type of information, the type of data that I get from people at the lowest level is so much better sometimes from the higher levels, So use a content management strategy, get your ideas, put out content. When you show the world that you believe in your people, and you believe that people at the low level to the high level, your organization is going to get back visibility, because they are seeing you now as a very people-oriented organization, and they'll want to do business like that. I'll say, well, wait, oh my, this is an organization that really believes in people. Let me hear what they have to say, and I may go forward like that as well. So to get back, firstly, you may hire a number of different consultants, and oh, great, hire me, hire you, in terms of trying to do change management and make back my organization visible. But remember, your organization, you may not have the money at that point. So what do? You look at the people from within. The people are your biggest assets, because they are going to have their ideas. They're going to have their ideas, and develop a content management strategy around that. And when you do that, you'll realize how easy it is. Your organization is going to get back visible. So you start to build from that aspect. And that is one of the teachings in project management, which is understand people and how to build people. So that's one of the great points in project management that you could take throughout. Another main point in how project management could really help us here is we speak about the red ocean strategy and the blue ocean strategy. Now, you want to become more visible. You want to start up on different projects. So the red ocean strategy, sometimes you're doing the same thing over, or you just see somebody and you do what we refer to as a me too, the same thing you're doing over, and it's not working. So what you may have to pivot in is a blue ocean strategy, where it is something totally different, but is still in alignment, right? And, I've done it in facilities management as well, to implement certain projects where it can definitely assist in growth and making your organization more visible, and that you can thrive. Of course, it's change management here, right? And culture really plays a major role, because persons will say, but this is where we are accustomed with, the red ocean. This is where we are. We swimming only in the red ocean. Now you want to convert and actually test different theories, known as the blue ocean strategy. But remember, you have to keep in mind, Gary, your business sinking. And if you don't do something, well, the ship going to the bottom of the ocean, right? So how do you make your businesses visible? You are, as we say, you're almost there, you're almost going through, but you don't want to go through. You want to come back up. Can you? And the answer is yes, you can. You look at people, you look at implementing your content management strategy through your people, getting your ideas, believing in them, and it is going to happen. The low level, not only the top level sometimes need a lot of help, you know, in the bottom level. And the second point is through projects again, are we looking at red ocean into blue ocean strategy? There's a lot of work on that one, but it's very, very, very effective.
All right, thanks for that share, Shivani. As I listen to you, you caused me to reflect on a couple of things. And one of the things that we often talk about in financial intelligence and investment is it's always advisable to advise high net worth investors to look before you leap. And starting a business is a high net worth investment exercise, because if you're not seeing it as that, you failed already. And where I'm going with this, you would have made a point that persons in business may want visibility, and then they recognize that they don't have the capital to invest in visibility. And there goes, they didn't look before they leap, they start, and then they start to discover all the, gray areas of doing business. You need to look before you leap, or ensure that you have the right subject matter expert on your side. Again, here's where relationship comes in. All right. Once you're looking before you leap, you're identifying critical human resources to move that process forward. You're identifying essential human resources to move your vision forward, and the capital resources to move the vision forward. I did mention that at the very beginning of this program. Again, your business is dead if you are prone to wait until your backs are against the wall and then you start reacting. To be successful in business, you want to be proactive. You want to identify a path, and you want to ensure that you are the most data-driven person on that particular path that you want to be successful in. All right. So I just take that away from some of what you would have said, Shivani. I like also you spoke about sometimes you get feedback from the lower level of the organization. And I can recall years ago as we did marketing, studied marketing, we look at feedback mechanism, I think, from three sources. We talk about the jury of executive opinion, and their opinion matter because they're at the top of the game. We talk about the Salesforce composite method. That's the middle managers. That's where you're working with, I believe. We talk about perhaps the consumer-based feedback. And in business, again, if you turn a deaf ear to what the consumers are saying, it's one of the reasons why we have so many businesses that are in the graveyard today. They're not listening. They're not taking those feedback. So I do see that those are essential elements that a leader in business need to consider when you want to not only survive, but also strive. Peter, I'm going to come right back to you, and then we're going to begin to wrap up. After you, we're going to start to go to closing remarks. In your field, as someone who really believes that having a master plan is important, and I don't want to discount it, because I personally believe that in life, if you don't have a master plan that focuses on you and helps you to become the best version of you, you can't do well as a family person, because you can only give what you have. You can't give what you don't have. But at the first instance, when you focus on mastering yourself, you're now able to carry that mastery over to family. You're able to carry that mastery over to community and organization and into the global market. How do you see master planning, Peter, as a necessary means to empower business leaders and business to stand out?
What I'm gonna respond to this is just to clarify some of the things that I said before, so that the audience have a direction. The term mastery takes into consideration broad applications. So you're going to focus on one, but to focus on one, you also take into consideration that there are many, and how do you manage the many in relation to the one. So in our field, what we do in our field in empowering individuals is to understand, as you are applying or implying right now concerning the various what we call dimensions of where how master operates in an individual applying themselves in the marketplace, or in just the broader spectrums of what they do, starting with their individual self. And then there's the application of moving from the individual self to the closest network of individuals who are around them, that extend also to a broader spectrum of the community, and at this and a corporate design that brings all three elements together. So what I would say to individuals who are viewing this program is that everything applies, everything that they're doing, having mastery, the concept of mastery in what they do. Let's start with seeing yourself and what you do as a solution, and then you build out those applications of what you do. You want to have other persons who can support you in what you do, because everybody has blind spots. So the closest individuals that you're going to do bring together to form a network around you, whether it is from the family domains, and that is the next level that you'll go, because you want to work. The objective is to solve solutions. We're talking about business. Your business is dead. You need leadership. And how do we do that? We got to understand that we focus on as you mentioned many times, the minimum viable offer, which the minimum viable offer starts with ourselves from time to time. And if we can solve those problems that I have, what we do realize that it trickles out into the community, because other persons have those problems, and how do we build support to take those solutions to having a corporate structure that present those solutions to the community.
All right, thanks for that share, Peter. I'm going to come now to Frank. Frank, in your closing remarks, what advice would you give to businesses that are now starting? What leadership attributes should they consider? Frank, this is for you.
Thank you, Greg.
Nice. All right, I'm going to come right back.
Come back to you.
All right. Shivani, you have years of experience in project management, and you've worked with multiple businesses. And I'm certain that you have worked with businesses who have excelled in setting and attaining their goals, and there are those who would have failed. What have you taken away from what makes them successful, and what causes the others to fail in project management? And can you share some nuggets that rising stars in business can take away in terms of interpreting the importance of project management to building a successful business and a successful brand?
Definitely, project management can help us. However, there's the evolution of project management, where a lot of times all we are seeing in project management is you have to initiate, you have to plan, you have to execute, you monitor, and you close off a project. Of course, that can work depending at the level that you are, and it's important as well. But remember, we are looking at project management in terms of the entire organization. So we need to understand what we refer to as a project management office, your PMO. Excuse me. The PMO would have your portfolio of all your projects. And in leadership, you're the CEO. Let's say you're the CEO of the organization. This is something that you want to promote. You want to promote a project management office that will be all of your portfolio, that will guide how projects are to be viewed, the visibility of your projects, as you're talking about, when this project should totally be dropped out because it's no longer relevant. How do you interconnect everything through project management tools? I mean, I use Asana and Trello to connect, and there is a better understanding of how everything works. You're not looking at projects in isolation, but you're looking at the interconnection of everything that you do. So the project management office, and I've seen it a lot that it's, it needs you need to do a lot more work in it, right? The project management office gives you the policies, it sets the procedures, it ensures that these projects that we are going on with, it is part of a program, it is part of a portfolio. What is the strategy that you're going to do? So the learning nugget that I want us to take from this conversation is, in order for us to lead effectively, a project management office should be set up in your organization that can really, and then you have the head of the PMO that can actually do what I'm speaking about. Sometimes you may just set it up in terms of a consultant coming in, setting up your PMO, giving you directions, ensuring that all your projects are always, we talk about the maturity level of the projects, what is your methodology, what is your structure, and it is in alignment with the business of the day. So this is one of the main points that needs to really be revisited in organization, how a PMO can really assist you in leadership. And it's not only coming in construction and say, okay, well, we need to set that up as a PMO. It's right through business, every single business, in order to thrive and really grow, look at development of a PMO within your organization. That's one main point. And to wrap it up, and we'll talk about this in the next show. So I'm just leaving this as a point to come back to, which is something known as the VUCA, right? And whether you're in projects, whether you're in management, leadership, whatever, this is the world that we are living in, right? And what does VUCA stand for? Is it volatile, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity? This is something a lot that we have to speak about in project management, and we definitely can have more deep dive into it. It will assist us in leadership as well, of course, because it all boils back to that, right? VUCA. Thanks for that.
Thanks for that share, Shivani. And as you can see, project management is definitely a dynamic tool for business. It can really help you in so many different ways. Frank.
Yeah, to close off, relationship-based leadership entails more of an approach to business rather than any specific action. I want to leave a few guiding principles which can help ensure that we put relationships first. And all of these ideas, inform one another. So nurturing one will in return nurture them all. And the first one is good intentions. It is vitally important that leaders employ relationship first tactics for the right reasons. Good leaders must actually prioritize relationships rather than just prioritize the perception of them putting relationships first. And it's important nothing to ask your workers for feedback if a decision is already made or a leader has no intention of incorporating their feedback. You see, it helps to approach each conversation and interaction without assumptions about how they should turn out. So you use interactions to get to know the employee's work style and try to listen as much as you speak. Employees will take notice and be more willing to share whatever with you. In short, be kind and curious. Then empathy. Any healthy relationship must allow both sides to put themselves in the shoes of the other. From a leader's perspective, it's important to remember that your employees see a side of the company that you don't. And situations may look different to them than they do to you. Their perspective is no less correct or valid than yours or anyone else's. Respect. While it's true that respect should be earned, it's also important to act respectfully from the beginning. Most people pick up on the amount of respect you show easily, and those who are offered respect are far more likely to offer it in return. Assume your employees are hardworking and knowledgeable about their positions unless you prove them otherwise. After all, you're someone you trust. Hire them. And then finally, trust itself. If you strive for the previous three ideas, trust will come naturally. Trust is the glue that holds a healthy workspace together. Empathizing and showing respect with good intentions will make your employees trust you and be more willing to come to you with ideas and concerns. And this openness will in turn boost your trust in your employees. If you do things right, everything will be.
All right. Thanks for that share. Frank, I probably was caught stretching. Yeah. All right. I love that today you went deep into relationship, and you spoke on a single topic today, and you expanded on the importance of relationship in the workforce and what it can do to really help business leaders to achieve more. I love that you have done that, and we will go deeper into that. Perhaps we'll even do as time progresses is to do this as a single topic, so we all just dive into relationship and really help the public to see what organization relationships should really look like. And we're going to bring some case studies and some, graphic examples so the general public can really walk away with the importance of relationships. Because I think many staff tend to feel demotivated when they're not able to talk to or even reach some of their superiors to get points across. So that was very important. I will come now to Peter for your closing remarks. Peter, I would love to hear from you. Anything that I might not have asked you today, but you may want to share it, do take this time to include it into your closing remarks. All to you, Peter.
Yeah, we are encouraging our community that are listening. We have a line that we are highlighting to individuals. Your business is dead. You need leadership. And what we are communicating to those who are listening to us is the importance of leadership. Without leadership, yes, without your head, without your brain functioning, the whole body is on life support. Your organization is on life support. And so from our world, the leader is the one who has a sense of understanding of all the various components, how they are in the organization. In your even an individual for themselves, how you operate as an individual. There is a sense of leadership and you taking mastery over the various components, and how you do that is largely going to determine the advancement of your life as an individual and how you extend that life throughout the various levels of your community, from yourself to your family to your community, and by extension into the corporate domains. So what we just one word I just want to encourage individuals is, they sorry about that, call was trying to come in. is that we have a design. We must have a blueprint. There has to be a blueprint, what we call the master plan, so that you can know where everything is. You can have access. You know how to communicate values to these various components, so that everything is moving in consistency with where you want to go overall.
All right, thanks for that share, Peter. And you must have a blueprint. The blueprint helps you to build consistency, and consistency is the mother of all success. All right. So, great share. In starting today's program, I did mention that to be successful, you also need to be a proactive leader. And proactive leaders, they have three essential characteristics. Now, we have developed that term, proactive leadership. It's in many of my books that I have written. The three essential characteristics that proactive leaders learn, apply, and master: one, they think ahead; two, they see beyond problems; and three, they're able to take informed action to achieve desired results. And I'm going to talk very briefly about this in my conclusion because I do believe that rising stars in business, if you adopt this principle, if you adopt some of these tools, it can definitely position you for greatness. What thinking ahead represents in starting a business, you when you want to be successful in business, you don't start and then you start to figure out what human resource you need, what technical resource you need, and what capital resource you need. There's a cost of doing business, and you need to understand this long before you get started because if you don't know it, you're going to struggle in this process. The reason we are doing what we are doing is because we want to provide you with information that will prevent you from struggling and fast track your pathway to attain the level of success that you want to attain. So you need to think ahead above these things. And secondly, is seeing beyond the problems. Now, many rising stars in business, because you didn't look before you leap, you get stuck in the problem zone. You are in that middle zone where you are supposed to be mastering the art of seeing beyond the problem, but you're not able to see beyond the problem. All right. Sometime when you do begin to see beyond the problem, it's too late. You give up. All right. And the problems that you need to see beyond is how are you going to get the right human resources? How are you going to attract the right capital resources and technical resources? And I'm trusting that you're seeing that our network has been that pathway to help you to see beyond some of the problems because we can train your human resources. We can get you the capital that get you access to the technical resources that you need to move a vision forward. And that's why we're doing what we're doing here. We're pointing out the challenges. You might need technical support in project management and master planning and economic analysis. We have the expertise within our network to help you with all of that. So I'm trusting that you can use us to help you to see beyond the problem. The last point that I want to make is that we often talk about informed action. Now, don't get me wrong, you need to take action. You need to take action because it's by constantly taking action, it becomes informed action because you would have been at that point of building the experience. You learn from what you do and you build up experience. So you're now able to predict a desired outcome based on historical data. So I emphasize the ability of taking informed action. The challenge with rising stars in business is that you don't have the experience in most cases to take informed action because you're now starting, you're now figuring things out. And my advice to you at the beginning, what you need to do, and Frank was talking about this earlier, perhaps you need to build a relationship with the right mentors. The right mentors are going to help you. Could be project management, could be access to capital, could be debt mitigation, could be a whole lot of things. But you need to build a relationship with the right mentors. You need to build a relationship with the right coaches. A mentor may do different than what a coach does. You need to build relationship with sponsors. And the sponsor is going to do so much more. They might get you access to capital. They might open doors for you and ensure that you attain success. And all of these things can play a pivotal role in helping you to optimize the level of success that you want. All right. You want to have a support community around you. And all of these things will play a tremendous role in giving you the opportunity to be successful in business. So I'm saying to you, your business is dead if these type of leadership that we have discussed here today is not part of your business ecosystem. We're taking the time to share with you because we want you to win in business. All right. And in the event that you need that type of support, I do encourage you to DM me. And once you touch me, reach me, you have access to our entire community that will help you to get on the pathway to position yourself for greatness. In the meanwhile, do go to the bestsellerportal.org. There's a lot of information here. Many books. I have myself and my team, we have 11 books here right now. Master the sales communication process. That is all designed to help you to win in business. So with that being said, I want to say, hey, today is Monday, and I want to wish you the best week ahead of you. And I believe in you, and you need to believe in yourself. All right. Remember my last words: get a mentor, get a coach, get a sponsor, get a supportive community. And we are here to provide all of that for you. All right. So with that being said, I want to say, Shabani, Frank, Peter, see you guys very soon. And thanks for being here today. It has been such a pleasure working with you guys today. And to the audience, do have a phenomenal week ahead of you.